Hi lovely and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy. This time I'm reviewing 3 Star Wars graphic novels because May 4th. So the comics I'm reviewing are Lando Double or Nothing, Captain Phasma, and Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir, and I'm going to do them in that order, so if you want to skip around, I should also have them down in the description below with their start points. Kicking off this review, we have Lando Double or Nothing. This is a 5-issue miniseries. It's from 2018. This one takes place immediately before Solo, a Star Wars story. Writing and art is by Rodney Barnes, Paolo Villanelli, Andreas Mossa, and Joe Caramagna. All those names are in the description below, and sorry if I mispronounce anything in this review whatsoever, because it might happen because Star Wars. So this one follows Lando Calrissian, the first owner of the Millennium Falcon, and he is a smuggler and a gambler. He definitely enjoys the easy life, more of a let's have fun and have pleasure thing, but he also will walk whatever line he needs to for money to make that lifestyle happen. He's very smooth, and some of this is very cheesy, which makes it really fun to read. Also, it's got some great color schemes going on in here. The plotline of this miniseries is that Lando gets approached by this woman named Christus, who needs help to free her father and the rest of her people. They have been enslaved by the Empire and are working at a droid repair facility. And so she offers Lando a lot of money to help smuggle in arms so they can gain their freedom and escape. Christus may not actually have the money she promised him, so that makes things interesting. Lando's becoming involved in this fight with the Empire, which is not really where he wants to be, but that's where the money is. And he's also got this droid called L3, who is a little bit more empathetic to these people who are enslaved than he is, which also adds an interesting element to it. I also really love the color scheme in this. I don't know if you guys can properly see it in this camera, but I'm loving the art. We've got Christmas and Lando here. There's also some really amazing space scenes, just in general, like, bam, Star Wars, we're in space. Lots of fighting and battles going on in here, which they're also funny and light battles, which I'm enjoying, because it's Lando. Things don't get too serious. You just got a good, nice battle against the Empire with some space aliens. And I love this one. It was so much fun. I definitely gave it 4 stars. Definitely dug it. There's a little bit of a romantic theme going with Lando and Christus, so this one was great. Next up, I have Captain Phasma. This is a 4-issue miniseries from 2018. This literally happens right at the end of A Force Awakens, so if you have not seen that movie, do that. Also, don't even watch this review if you haven't seen A Force Awakens. Just skip to Darth Maul, because this review is also going to spoil what happens at the end of Force Awakens. Writing and art is by Kelly Thompson, Marco Checchetto, Andreas Mossa, and Clayton Cowles. So, like I said, literally the end of Force Awakens. Star Killer Base is in the process of being blown up. We see Rey and Kylo Ren having their epic lightsaber fight in one of the backgrounds, lightsaber. And we're following Phasma after she has let the force field down and let the rebel forces in. So, she's got to cover her tracks now before the rest of the bad guys figure out that she's the one who did this. So she's trying to tie up all her loose ends. There is somebody who accessed the database before she could erase it and noticed that she's the one who did it. And so Phasma is going to track him down and make sure he doesn't tell anybody by killing him, because it's the evil guys. Phasma enlists this one nameless pilot, who's just called Pilot, or her designation number throughout the rest of this, and the two of them go chase him down to this planet, where we have a bunch of colonists fighting an indigenous species that is a sea monster. And Phasma has to decide whether or not to help them, whether or not to just blow past them and try to track him down. The sea monsters are getting in her way, so it might be, beneficial to her. This one definitely shows us Phasma's loyalties and what she actually cares about. And it's not necessarily the benefit of everybody else in the galaxy. Just saying. This one definitely sticks with a very metallic color scheme to it, I guess. I mean, it's Phasma. She's got that very distinct all-silver suit. So we're definitely seeing that. There's a lot of blues. We've got some reds accenting. This is pretty much the color scheme throughout the entire series. There's that sea monster they're fighting. I enjoyed this one because we got to see more Phasma. We definitely get into her head. We get to know her a lot better, which is sometimes lacking in the movies. Sometimes she's just the secondary character, and it's great to see her have her own moment. The art plays a huge part in this because there are entire panels where there's not really a lot of dialogue, and so we're seeing what's happening through the art itself. There is a lot of fighting, so much fighting and blowing up and destroying things. So if you're into that, this one is chock full of it. It's not my personal favorite part, though, so the emphasis on that kind of fell flat for me. So on the whole, I ended up giving this one 3 stars. It's a solid addition to the Star Wars universe. It's really awesome to get to find out more about Phasma. But on the other hand, she's not a character that I had a lot of emotional attachment to going into this. And I didn't really gain a whole lot of emotional attachment to reading this. So there's kind of a disconnect that I just didn't really care that much about Phasma or her story arc. And since I don't care about the fight scenes, which is what most of this was, I definitely felt more of an attachment to the colonists, but also Phasma doesn't, so there's that distancing too. Sorry, I'm sitting on the floor and trying to get comfortable. The last one is Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir. This is a 4-issue miniseries from 2017. This happens during the Clone Wars animated series, and this comes after one of the episodes where we find out that Darth Maul is actually not dead. He didn't die in the prequels. Obi-Wan cut him in half, but he was able to be resurrected and saved. So we're following Darth Maul after that bit. Okay, rating and art is by Jeremy Barlow, Juan Frigeri, Mauro Vargas, Wes Disber, and Michael Heisler. And I just butchered those names, so I'm sorry. Like I said, all those names are in the description below. So this one is following Darth Maul. He is no longer with the Empire. He's been cut out of it. Darth Sidious has exiled him. No longer my apprentice. So Darth Maul has gone back to his family and his planet, and particularly his mother, who is this really powerful witch. He used to work with Darth Sidious, and Darth Sidious sees her as a major threat, and so he is following Darth Maul to figure out where the mother is so he can take them both out. So Darth Maul is aligned with this third group of people who are evil, dark, but they're not actually part of the Empire. They would very much like to take over the galaxy and overthrow the Empire and fill that space. They are called the Shadow Collective. There is a lot of fighting in this, so if you love action sequences, there's a ton of these. We see Darth Maul fighting Darth Sidious, Count Dooku, and General Grievous at different points. The thing is that I don't care that much about Darth Maul to begin with. He looks weird. He's got this red face and all the horns and just, I don't know. We don't have much backstory to him in the movies. The animated show gave him more, but I still just, on the whole, don't care that much about Darth Maul. So it's cool to see the bad guys fighting each other. But the actual personal attachment I didn't really have in the series. So on the whole, I gave this 3 stars. Definitely lots of fighting going on. The color scheme is a bit more not I want to say all over the place, but more inclusive. There's definitely some good space scenes also. I love these 2 panels together. The battles. So this trade also contains bonus features from Star Wars Tales issues 7 through 9, which feature baby Darth Maul. They were interesting. They weren't my favorite. They're too short to actually have any kind of development to them. They're just fun things at the end that kind of just completely fell flat for me. I haven't been reading Star Wars Tales, so this entire art style and stuff wasn't what I was expecting. It's just thrown at the end. And it feels kind of disconnected from fight battle scenes to light, fluffy children's stuff. Definitely more comedic comic stuff going on here. So on the whole, I gave Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir 3 stars. It's a solid entry, but it's just not personally my favorite or anything that I connected to. There are my reviews for these 3 Star Wars graphic novels. I will post links to the other Star Wars comics that I have read in the description below if you want to check them out. Lando Double or Nothing was definitely my favorite out of these 3. Let me know in the comments below which are your favorites, what Star Wars comics do you love, or which characters do you wish that they would explore more. Follow those storylines. Is there anything in the movies you want expanded upon, I guess? Yeah. So, peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye. They're slipping. They're slipping. They're slipping. Ah! Okay, we're done.